listening to the Betmaker Show. This is the PGA Charles Schwab Challenge betting odds preview for Monday, June 8th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Betmaker Show, Bryan Blessing.
Well, lo and behold, we're going to have some fun talking golf.
Yes!
Yes!
It's back.
Finally
In
Las Vegas. Cam Stewart. Cam will be covering the Canadian Open this week.
Canceled.
Hey,
Cam, how's Carl Peterson doing? Pretty good, Bryan. Pretty good.
Wait, what are you doing, Cam? Well, I'm having a pint of beer at Glen Abbey watching the Colonial.
Yeah. Hey, I'm at Glen Abbey watching the condos come up there, Bryan. It used to be the golf course. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a hazard. How many stories is that thing?
Oh, God. It sucks. I get it. Like, you know, we'll get onto the tournament, but the thing that really bothered me about the Canadian Open is they played it at courses that weren't the best. Like St. George's is a good course. Remember the time they had it at Shaughnessy? Remember in Vancouver, it was like John Daly versus Bo Van Pelt, like 3-4 under 1. Like, that's the thing. Like, I get it. Glen Abbey's easy for people to get on the property, but that's a real problem. When you have a national tournament, you just want to see them move it around a little bit more. That's all.
You know, just fun talking golf stuff. I love, you know, courses. I get to play, you know, when you play the courses that these guys are on and you remember those memories, like Oak Hill, the bunker, you know, on 18, the Sean McKeel shot.
Yes.
When you get to play them. And I'm telling you, I play TP occasionally. I'm not, you know, I'm not acting like I'm so big shot here. I mean, occasionally play TPC, and then when they play out here, you know, I know the shot the guy's facing because TV doesn't know justice. It's like when HD came in, you know, all of a sudden you're looking at number 9 at Augusta, and you're like, oh my God, you know, the second shot on 9 at Augusta is so uphill, and
people have no idea. Like even the other holes, Bryan. I went to Augusta once, and it was probably the best. Like, I've covered some Stanley Cups. Like, going to Augusta just blew my mind. It was the hardest way I ever worked, but it was probably the most fun I've ever had in my life. And for people that have never been there, just the roll. Yeah, I walk every hole. Like, every day we got up, 4:00 in the morning, walk every hole. Like, people don't know the undulations, the side hill lies, and you still get it on TV a little bit, but until you're actually there, like, you have no idea what these guys are dealing with.
All right, well, I guess the reason I was even getting into it was we were clowning around talking about the Canadian Open in Glen Abbey, and you know, CBS has been showing past tournaments throughout the shutdown here, and they showed, I guess it was Dustin Johnson, right, winning at Glen Abbey a couple of weeks ago, and they hit the shot, and none of them are saying anything about it, and I'm going, it's my favorite shot in all of golf, is number 11 at Glen Abbey. Is hitting off that elevated tee.
Oh yeah,
from the escarpment down to the valley.
It's awesome.
And you hit the shot, and literally the ball stays in the air for about 10, 12 seconds. It's nuts. And on TV, it looks like nothing. Look, oh, they just hit a shot, and I'm watching when he hit it. I'm sitting there counting by 5, 6,
pummeled.
but they never alluded to it looks. It looks simple, but it's almost like there's no frame of reference. It's like you're just hitting it out into this oasis, and you hope it hits the fairway. At least the average guy. Those guys just pump it down the middle and walk on like it's nothing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I will say this, though, nice track. They had the course there too many times. I'm just jacked up for this tournament, Bryan. We've been waiting for so long. And I told you, we were the guys. Golf is a sport, social distancing. I thought they could have got to it earlier, but, we're here now. And I think they wanted to get it safe. I know there's a lot of things they got to do, test the caddies, see how things go. And soon we're going to have spectators. They're already talking about spectators at Memorial, Jack's tournament. But I'm jacked and ready to go. And the angles that I'm looking at this tournament, listen, we don't know whose wife is like paranoid about COVID-19. We don't know some of the things, how hard they've been working, but I do know some things. Young, hungry kids, guys who don't have families, range rats, guys like that I've been talking about with the people in the golf community, golf bettors. Those are guys I think I'm going to target this week because out of the gate, I'm not sure how these veterans and these favorites are going to really do. I think this is a great tournament to kind of get some mid-range guys, and I know you love mid-range guys and super bombs, Bryan, and that's what I'm thinking this week. We might have to dig a little bit deeper.
I'm looking at it, and I've got three of the most, well, I think they're outlandish picks. But to me, it's like limp in, take a shot with a few grenades, because I would say to the folks, knock on wood, we've really had great success doing these podcasts. You and I have been doing the golf stuff together for years. We follow it religiously. They're no one with a brain in their head. They're just flat out lying to you. If I love this guy this week, you're an idiot, because we don't know what these guys have been doing, right? And there's just so many unknowns. And I always say this, and this is the definition of the way to play this tournament. Play a couple of bucks. Play a couple of long shots. Watch the first two rounds.
Yep.
And you bet Friday night. Because you watch and you'll see who's playing well, who's fighting their swing, who had a couple of lucky breaks, or boy, does this guy just looks like he's in rhythm. And then you fire on Friday night and you get a guy 4 or 5 shots off the pace, still at 20, 25, 30 to 1.
I love that theory.
I don't know how
I love that theory.
We said, oh, this guy's great here and this guy. But honestly, we haven't seen any one of these guys now for 10 weeks.
No, and that's the thing. I don't know who's working on their game. I don't know who's quarantining, who picked up a club. There is no idea. And unless we have a guy who listens to the podcast who's living with one of these guys, we got no clue. I will say this, though. The one angle, as I said before, younger guys, hungrier guys. I'm trying to look for guys without families, maybe, coming in there, working on their game. And one guy that I could say does that every week, and I don't think he really cares about a quarantine, is Sungjae. Sungjae lives basically in a hotel. He does things week to week. I don't think he goes out and has a beer. I don't think he does anything. I think he plays golf. He practices golf. I don't know what else he does, but I see him, and he is working on his game consistently. I'm looking at chalk in this tournament, Brian, and I'm seeing him at 33, 35 to 1. I think it's a must play on my card.
This guy is not on my list. I said I'm limping in, but I tell you, the one guy we did kind of see there was the Outlaw Tour. Then they had these couple of little local thingy things that they put. Scottie Scheffler was.
I love Scottie Scheffler too.
He was playing good, when the tour was up, and he actually played well against nobodies, pretty much. But anyway, so you could take a look at a guy like him. But here's what I just say to you. Before we get to the players, I cannot wait to watch this, and I'll give you there's about 1,000 reasons, but the thing is, without fans, there's a couple of things. One, some guy could have a 3-shot lead coming down the stretch, and one errant shot that would normally hit a fan or hit the fans by the green.
Mm-hmm.
The ball's going to hit a side hill, go 25 yards, short side themselves. Doubles and triples are in play all over the place because the fans aren't there. And the other thing that I really hadn't thought about, and I remember telling the one story about watching the replay of number 5 of the Tigers Masters win last year, was that 3 of the guys who were on contention on number 5, which is a brutal hole, one of the toughest holes at Augusta. 3 guys that were in contention. Koepka was one of them. They hit balls that were just going dead OB on 5, and it went and hit fans, and the ball ended up in a matted down spot that they actually had a better angle to the green on 5 than the guy in the fairway did. But if fans weren't there, those 3 guys would have shot themselves right out of the tournament that minute. So, and so the other thing is, with fans not there, on top of them, the ball not going a gazillion miles away, where the fans are, the grass gets matted down, right? So they're only 20 yards away with a little easy, in their sleep, these guys, but they always get if the grass is matted down, that even when they hit a crummy shot, the lie's not bad. Now they're going to hit a shot that's just, just off the green, but the ball's going to be sitting down in cabbage.
Yeah. And another thing, Brian, I think, and there's a lot of times when you're breaking down statistics, and both of us, we use statistics, but we're field players too, because we watch every shot of every tournament. I will say this, doing a little bit of research on guys, fairway percentage and stuff, I think is a little more important now, because you said it, without the fans, bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, it's back into the fairway. Oh, hit the trees. He's back here. Oh, hit the guy's lawn chair. It's still in play. Now we're going to have those things that are going, when it's going way out of bounds, it's just going to keep on rolling. Thank you. Water hazard. He gone. stuff like that. So I got to believe, without the fans, you're right. These breaks that these guys got before, some of them aren't. It's going to be very, very bad. And an excellent point. The lies, none of this flat lies where you can get it up and down. These guys are going to be buried. They're going to be have real bad situations, and that's good because we've lost a lot of tournaments with and fans will follow. They follow the more popular guys, and usually me and you have a guy in the middle or a big underdog, right? So I think this is going to be positive for us.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website at betmaker.com. The thing is, it's great. These guys are amazing, but the bottom line is a handful of errant shots that they're never penalized the way we are when we just go play the course the way the course is meant to be played. So. There could be a guy that's got the lead and spits the bit. You're going to see a lot of things. I think, guys who play well, they're going to play well, but there are going to be a lot of guys that are really frustrated out there. So this is going to be fun. Now, I got 3 guys, and you nailed it, my good friend. The key to this tournament, this is a narrow course. A bomber you don't need to be a bomber to win this. There are a lot of holes these guys will play irons. This is about hitting it off the short grass. So all of a sudden I'm thinking about, all right, the most consistent driving accuracy. And I got 3 between the lines things for plays that are just so bizarre. One, Jim Furyk is 150 to 1.
Ballsy.
Jim Furyk also, by the way, next week they're playing at Harbour Town. Right? And Furyk's won at Harbour Town.
Yes, for sure. Perfect game for that course.
His game is still terrific, and he plays from the fairway. All right? So Furyk's 150 to 1. Now, he's not – he was the 3rd guy I added. I know Zach Johnson's won a couple of times here, which also tells you hit the fairway. You don't have to be a long hitter. But the 2 crazy ones, 500 to 1. You ready? 500 to 1, Chad Campbell.
That is awesome. He's actually, I found him at 600. Texas's own Chad Campbell. Remember, this, for people, guys, if I'll give you all, we're going to the hot tub time machine. Just want to let Bryan finish on Chad Campbell. This guy was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when I was growing up. And know what the title said? The next Tiger Woods. Remember, Bryan, the hype when Chad Campbell came out? He was supposed to be one of the best golfers in the world. He's been there in a couple major stuff, but when you want to talk about careers, you know what I mean? One of those guys that you thought was going to be way better. 600 to 1 on Chad Campbell. Unreal.
Chad Campbell is in the top 10 in driving accuracy. He hits the fairway off the tee 71% of the time. That is the key to this course. I mean, you got to roll the flat stick and all that. All right, but he's from Texas. And he hits fairways, and I would rather play Chad Campbell at 500 to 1 than Rickie Fowler at 35 to 1.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm gonna do a little bit. I have a couple bombs too. I'm gonna definitely play 3 guys in the mid tier. Bryan, I'm not sure. Do you have anybody like in? Give me your guys, and then we'll talk.
Okay, so Furyk, and I'm done. Furyk. The Chad Campbell thing, he was the first guy I came up with, and I'm like, wow, I'm doing it.
That is ballsy.
And then
that's wild.
The mid-tier guy at 60 to 1, he's burned a lot of money over the years, but I'm telling you, the one thing this guy does, he drives the golf ball amazingly. And, oh, by the way, has now lived, you'll probably get it when I say this, he has lived in Austin, Texas now for, I think, about 5 years. And I think everybody's going to say Ryan Palmer this week, right? Because it's his home course and blah, 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 blah. All right. And he does play well. It makes sense. But Sergio Garcia at 60 to 1. I think Sergio Garcia this is one of these tournaments where I think Sergio Garcia shows up and contends. So the 3 guys, that's who I'm playing. Those are crazy picks. Furyk, Garcia, and Chad Campbell are the 3 guys I'm limping into this tournament, and then I'll bet it Friday night.
I got to tell you, Bryan, you got obviously more guts than me. I'm not even going to take the top tier guys. I'm actually probably going to fade Dustin Johnson, guys. For all the people who play matchup bets, I'm fading him all day. I'll get so many guys as dogs against him, and I'm willing to put every single matchup bet against him. We watched that Johnson, McElroy versus Fowler and Wolf. DJ was horrible. He shouldn't even have been on television. It was actually pathetic. I don't know how he's going to get his game back, but at 28-1, I'm not even considering him. He could show up, sure, but I'm going to fade him. Here's 3 guys, Brian. I'm going mid-tier with these guys. I don't have the guts that you do, but I'm loading up on Sungjae because I think he'll be in contention, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get him at 35-1.
That's a good pick.
At the way. Yeah, no, it's just one of those ones I'm riding this kid. I think he can win every week, so he's going to make the card at 35-1.
Just to play devil's advocate, and I'm with you because it's like, oh, this kid, this is like, okay, he played every tournament last year. He never stopped playing.
Yeah.
I mean, so you would think he just plays and plays and he's practicing. The guy might have finally said, it took a pandemic for me to take a rest.
I don't think that's, you know what, Brian? I don't think that's in his mindset. He's just one of those guys, and we've all worked with him, like people who just work. Like, I love to work, you love to work, but me and you have one thing in common. You're like, man, on Sunday, I just want to, put on my house coat, you want to have a dart, you want to watch some golf, and please don't call me to do any more shows. I love doing what I do, right?
Wait a minute. Well, hold on. Well, what's a house coat?
A robe, just chilling out. You take your robe on, you light up, fire up one of your Marlboros. If the weather's good, you take a dip.
Is that a Canadian thing?
What, a robe or a house coat? No, what do you call it?
Well, a robe. I mean, what's a house coat? What are you? Do you live in Downton Abbey?
No,
what the hell? A house coat.
What's Ric Flair wear? Is it a robe? When he comes out, woo! What is that? What do wrestlers wear?
I don't know. That's damn near a gown.
Yeah, anyway.
I got the winds of Texas going on here in Vegas. Can you hear this? Can you hear the wind?
I can. And I can hear Mike. Please have your Ethernet cable plugged in, Brian. Please. Anyway, I got to tell you this. Anyway, I don't care. Sungjae, he's one of those guys when the boss calls, you've worked 14 days in a row. Sungjae, I need you. Okay, boss, I'll be there. You'll put in another 16 hours, 35-1. Sign me up.
No, there's
Collin Morikawa, I'm coming back to you. He's like the girlfriend. I don't know why I'm back to you. You cheated on me. You slept with my friend, and I still love you. I don't know why I love you.
It took 10 weeks off. It took 10 weeks off for you to get back on that band.
But honey, I love you.
You wanted that kid's head on a plate with an apple in his mouth.
I do, but it's one of those things. He's going to win soon, and at 40, I'm going to take him. I think him and him are going to I'm going to look at the leaderboard on Sunday and go, this is going to be very interesting. And you said my final guy. These are 3 guys I bet from the mid tier. Brian, Scottie Scheffler. Scottie Scheffler at 45, I think is a great. Yeah, these are guys like they're good enough odds for me to take. I think Scheffler's a workhorse. He's also played on mini tours. He hasn't, slowed down. I love your bombs. Don't get me wrong, and I will sprinkle on every single guy you said.
Throwing darts.
These are, you're throwing darts, and I'm throwing kind of like I'm fading like the top tier guys, like him at 35, Morikawa at 40, Scheffler at 45. That's a good way to start for me. And if one of these guys, like Garcia, any of these guys, somebody catches a heater, DeChambeau. If one of these guys is available, 4 or 5 shots back on the weekend, and I like what they've done, if they've missed some putts, then we can attack again. But in my portfolio, I'm an Morikawa, and Scheffler man.
And the only thing, and again, I'm throwing darts. I everything you said is great, but I think you're throwing darts because back to the preface of this. You could be so right. Dustin Johnson, I'm going to fade him in 4 matchups, and he could be terrible. The problem you got is the guy he's going against. You don't know. The guy he's going against could be an axe murderer out there and playing terrible too. I mean, that's
yeah. You're right. You're right.
Rub that I just advise. Take a couple of shots and then the eyeballs. Watch the first 2 rounds. And then fire to, and I think after watching 2 rounds, I think you'll find 2 or 3 really good nuggets heading into the weekend. I just think we can make anything sound good, Cam.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think we don't know. Okay, here, John Rahm's as consistent as they get, right?
I love John Rahm. That's the thing, but he's only 12-1.
Well, between McElroy, Rahm, and Justin Thomas, okay, I'd say Rahm.
I would too.
But we don't know what John Rahm was doing for 10
I know
years.
he's got a lovely girlfriend or wife now. They're probably he could be so eating caviar on his boat, just having a great old time like he's a young guy. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Maybe he's drinking cognac, making love, doing a lot of things that we're not doing in our lives right now.
Would you not agree with this? That
Yes.
there's dough on the line.
Yeah, there is.
It's a PGA Tour, and you get a trophy and all this. But I mean, 75% of these guys, they're back and they're out there and raking a little bit of dough. But the lion's share of this field is using this thing as a prep to get back
the majors,
up to speed.
Yep, you're right.
That's all. I advise caution.
I do too. Like, you don't want to go crazy.
With everybody.
Don't go crazy the first tournament, but I think this tournament's bettable. And hey, Brian, we bet
Shirley
horses.
Temple.
You know what? Yeah. Shirley Temple is Matt Kuchar's 50-1. You don't think this guy might really? Hey, everybody, I'm Matt Kuchar. Not only did I rip off my neighbor for $50,000 in a ping pong tournament, hey, I'm back playing golf. Like, this is the thing. He likes to beat people. He's competitive.
He hits fairways.
Yes, he does hit, and he does hit fairways. And that's at that price. Matt Kuchar 50-1 is a good price. I have one more guy to throw out to you. What's your opinion on Kevin Kisner at 80-1?
He's a former winner here.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
he's a guy, and
he's fired up too. You see the interviews, like he's mad about his game. He's mad about his state. Like, this guy was a guy that was there every week. Like, Kisner is one of those guys. He's a fireball. Like, I
looked at him. I almost said, like, here, Kisner 80-1. Well, Ryan Palmer. I mean, honestly, if he wins, we're all going to sit there and go, "You dumbasses."
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Palmer's 80-1. This is his course. And he contended there. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
He came up just short, but it's his home course. And the guy, what did he win? He won the.
He won with Rahm.
The pair thing, the doubles thing.
Yeah, the doubles thing. He won. Remember, because John Rahm didn't have a partner. He picked Palmer. Palmer's like, "Thank you. I got one of the best guys on tour here." Remember that? I think we had. I remember who we had too. We had like guys like 80-1 who came second. Who was it? Like Jonas? Some other guy.
The guy. What's scary is we don't have a life. Is that we remember all this? You know who they beat? You remember who they beat?
Who?
They beat Sergio and Fleetwood.
Oh, yeah, Serge and Fleetwood. Yeah, they made a big run. That's right. But I think Kisner's the type of guy. He's a bulldog. Like, not just like he in real life. Like, he's a guy who's got the chewing tobacco. And he's like, I think this pandemic could be good. I don't know how to read people's minds. I'm not a shrink, but I could tell you this. The break with Kisner and the way he plays golf and wants to win, I'm going to tell you, he's going to be fired up. It's a good price. And, he's a guy that I think can come out of the gate and try to want to make a statement. 2 bombs, Brian. I know you threw him out there. These are guys that I'm looking at. I think Maverick McNeely at 150-1 is a guy that, couple bucks, $2 or $4, kind of like what Brian's doing with the Jim Furyk and stuff. And another guy, Brendan Todd, gets no respect. The guy won 2 tournaments and came second. He's 150-1. I think that's disrespect.
I'm going to add a guy.
Okay.
Just because I'd be what an idiot. Then you're right. $20. Say throw $5 on all these guys, and you're in there with a ridiculously overlaid price, and then you come back and you pick your guy at 20-1 on Friday night, and because I think the strategy's sound. But I would say this to you: all these guys, McElroy, Rahm's really consistent, but like Justin Thomas, there are days you jump when he's on, right? But there are days he's playing military golf, right?
I'm fading him this week.
No, but it's the consistency and these big hitters, and the thing is here, if you're flailing, if you're just off a little bit, again without the fans, you've got to play from the short grass. It's the most simple game. I mentioned it before. Why wouldn't I put $5 on Zach Johnson at 175-1? He's just got such a simple swing, and he plays from the fairway all the time.
Another thing about Zach Johnson is you're getting a crazy price on a guy that's a major winner. And also,
he's won here.
Yeah. And the thing about Zach Johnson is his putting. That's what's actually set him back. All it takes is a weekend. And Brian, once he starts feeling it again, like you're going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting this guy who should be, 80-1 at 175-1. Zach Johnson's a player. I'm going to say he's not been hot recently. His game has taken a dip, but he's the type of guy to get it back. And the putters really let him down. His short game is what won him the Masters. And at that price, I agree with you. I think it's willing. That's what you got to do with these guys, $4 or $5. What's $20? Sprinkle on 4 or 5 guys, $25 investment, and you said it, right? Then you can have these guys, and then you can still have enough bullets in the gun if you want to take a Bryson DeChambeau over the weekend or a Xander Schauffele, which if they're in contention.
Buddy, we've been away. I'm looking it up as we speak right now. Well, come on. Now, I was going to ask you, who is he caddying for? Who's he caddying for? Johnson's old caddy, the Damon Green. Remember we were all over to say,
yeah. Oh, is it CT Pan? Who's he caddying for?
I think it is CT Pan.
It is CT Pan. Remember we talked about it? No, it's CT Pan or no, not Danny Lee. No, I'm trying to think. It is CT. I'm almost positive it's CT Pan. Yeah.
Well, listen. Don't you think a guy? I mean, well, first of all, we love that guy. Was it CT Pan? Oh man, we got to find this out. I'll get it. But I'm telling you, a guy like that.
Or is it Sung Kang?
No. Oh, I think, you know what? I think you're right.
Ooh, how's that? I'm pulling that one out. It might be.
I think you're right. Well, my point is, if a guy's won on a course or whatever, the caddy knows every blade of grass on the thing. And the caddy is nothing to sleep on. And we were saying, I think you're right, man. I'm looking up.
It is Sung Kang.
Is it? You found it?
I'm almost on. No, I'm 100%. I remember now. I'm almost I'll bet you on it. I'm positive because I remember watching. It is. I can't guarantee. I am 90% sure it's Sung Kang, off the top of my head. That Zach Johnson's old caddies for him now.
All right, man. I'm telling you,
I gotta put $5 on Kisner at 80-1 too. I just think I'll be remiss to say because he's the type of guy that can really get it back together. He's got game. You said it too. Palmer at 80-1. We can't bet on everybody, but that's the thing, Brian. Maybe go dart hunting, but I will say this: at M35, Morikawa at 40, and Scottie Scheffler are a good way for me to start the tournament. I'm going to sprinkle on your guys at 150. Why not put $2 on Chad Campbell at 600-1? Stuff like that. Even $5. Like, that's crazy. Like that, Brian. You've given me bombs before. You've given me 250s and 3s. I don't think we've ever had a 600-1. That is kahunas. Chad Campbell.
Hey, well, are we recording this thing? If he wins,
no. Mike, if we're recording this, which we're doing a show, I would hope that the record button's on. But I will say this: if Chad Campbell even finishes top 5, I think Bryan deserves like a pass for life. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter whatever, just everything, any opinion you have, whatever. Yes, sir. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, if Chad Campbell finishes top 5, like, I'll bow down to you as the best capper in all. Like, that's wild.
The one year, I think that maybe the best run I ever got. I think
I had Max Home at 250-1. Remember that tournament? I had like $2 on him, and I had Matthew Wolff at 150-1. Those are my biggest scores.
I've hit a couple. I mean, I hit Zach Johnson 120-1 in the British Open. But I remember getting a real serious one the one year at the Masters. I think I had longer at like 300-1, and he's on the first page of the leaderboard on Sundays.
Yeah.
Anywho, I
can't wait, buddy. I can't wait.
And I can't. I want to watch it without fans. I'm telling you, but
I do too. Like,
cool.
We'll wrap this thing up, but I'll tell you, sports without fans has been great. The mixed martial arts, you hear the corners, you hear the strategies, you hear the kicks. Love it. All these sports, NASCAR without fans. Who cares about the fans, right? These guys are in their suits going around and around. Like, this is the thing. I don't want to be that guy, but fans in certain sports is overrated. Golf does not need fans. You watch it on TV, watch these guys play. I guarantee it's going to be great. You're going to hear things. I think they should mic up the caddies a little bit more.
If they shut up and let them talk.
Yeah. It's just.
I can't wait for hockey without fans.
Me too. I'm going to kill you and all the things that's what we talked about. They got to have like a PG channel and then a real guy channel too. We can put the kids to bed, and I want to hear like every little thing. I think it's great. They're sparring with each other at a face-off, and the guy goes, "Hey, just so you know, I got the license plate." Yeah, I'm going to carve your eye out. How you doing? Stuff like that. Marshaw, I'm going to rip your tongue out, you prick.
I'm going to hit you with so many lefts, you'll be begging for a right.
For a right, exactly.
I'll hit you so hard, I'll kill your pet.
That's the thing. That's why the NBA's like, can we buy the music from the video game? Like, they don't want to hear the things that these guys are going to say to each other in competition. It's going to be fun. But, hey, man, golf's back. I'm ready to rock, Brian, and Good luck with the picks, buddy. I really like it. We're going all over the board. A few middies, and you're really going grenade hunting.
All right. Well, go over to Glen Abbey and play around.
I told you, it's condos, Bryan. There's no...
Oh, but put a hard hat. Get a wedge and a hard hat.
That's right. Can I borrow your wrecking ball?
Really? The course is toast?
Yeah. They're putting like massive condos up in Oakville there. Yeah. Glen Abbey's done. I don't think you can play. I don't think you play on that course. It's either now or now. I'll go double check.
You took a Nicklaus course in...
Yes. The land is worth, like, I can't even tell you what it's worth. They're building condos there. Yeah. Like super condos. Yeah. I'm not lying to you. Yeah. That course is gone. He gone.
What's a super condo?
Super condo? I have no idea. Probably like a condo, but a little bit better. Something we can't afford, Bryan. Hell, you got a pool. I got nothing, so you're doing a hell of a lot better than me, buddy.
Right. I can't wait, man. This is going to be great fun. We'll be on the phone like 8-year-olds talking to each other all weekend. Did you see this?
Yeah, I got a new phone, so you don't have to flip out anymore. And send me some horse picks, too. I know if we're going to bet all these golfers, we need a pick 3 or a pick 4 to come in, too. It'd really be nice if we could win a couple grand this weekend. That'd be nice.
You got rid of the 2 cream of celery cans?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to bite the bullet. Let's
tee it up, and then we get Harvard down next week.
You got it, buddy.
Fun. All right, have a good one. Enjoy. Again, guys and gals, I think sprinkle. I can't stealing
sprinkle
vernacular. Sprinkle a little bit, but I watch the first couple of rounds, and then I think fired a gun on Friday night.
It's great strategy. You taught me that strategy. You have a couple guys that you go in with, 3 or 4 guys. Take a couple bombs for very, very little money. Watch the tournament. That's how I won with Matthew Wolff, Bryan. I watched the golf. I go, this guy's missing putts. He's right there. He won at 150-1 live. Great way to bet golf.
Hey, we talk Cam. We've done this a boatload of times, but the best ever, I would think. We had a couple of bad beats early in the year. Got a guy 60-1 that basically gave the tournament away on Sunday that we bet Friday night. But Danny Willett in the Masters. On Friday night, 40-1. He was like 2 shots back. Like, pardon me?
That's what you do. No, and your strategy, like you reinforced it with me, it's the best way to watch golf because you think 5-6 shots is a lot. No, not with 2 rounds of golf to go, especially in a major. That's the best way to play. Like Saturday, take a good player from the sky. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we never wrap these things up.
I know you don't.
But Saturday, right, is called Moving
Day for a reason.
So, and there are guys that basically their mindset changes on Thursday and Friday. They're shooting themselves to be
into the tournament. Yeah, like get there.
They're maybe a little more conservative, but if their game is good, then they come out. And they got a lot less pressure when you're chasing the front runner and you're flag hunting. The guy from off the pace is the danger.
Yep, kind of like the horse, Bryan. It's hard to go wire to wire. I like to have a guy coming from off the pace.
Have a good one, folks. Tee it up. Have some fun. We gotta end this. You and I.
You're the host. This guy. Hey, Bryan, you got any tips for the Hooters tour or the Cactus tour? You had some more picks. I got a guy for you.
Damon Green's got a cousin.
He probably does. That guy can. Oh, geez, I think I just broke my chair. God, I got to lose some weight. He gone. Yep, just smashed a chair in half. That's fun. Betmaker, let's make some money tonight.
Well, that's the Betmaker Show for now. We publish multiple times each week. We'd like to thank you for listening, and if you liked what you heard, please take a moment to leave a rating and review, or subscribe to our show feed, or share our show with a friend or two and help us grow the show. We very much appreciate it. Visit us on the web at betmaker.com, and reminder to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks to our engineer, Darren Vandermolen, and producer, Mike Gallivan. The Betmaker Show is a production of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated. Betmaker is a registered trademark. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this content without the express written consent of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At Betmaker.com and the Betmaker Show, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling. An approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.